Before we get started, a big thank you to all of my supporters over on Patreon and on Twitch, with the Patreon people coming up on screen now. A big thank you to my legendary supporters, Mike, Kira, Truck Driving Gamer, and Obi-Wan Kanzi. Thank you guys, I really very much appreciate it. If you would like to help support me and the channel, then you can head over to twitch.tv/mandatoryquest and drop a sub over there. Or you can go over to patreon.com/mandatoryquest and become a Patreon member for some early access to some videos and some behind the scenes stuff.
Following up on Sather's crab problem, you find yourself standing at the edge of the biting sea. An ice-choked gauntlet whose frigid waters have granted a swift death to many an overconfident mariner. You hike west, hugging the coast while hunting for signs of the enormous crustaceans. Frosthaven is visible in the southern distance, little more than a vague outline. Seeing it, you feel isolated, like someone looking back from the very edge of the world. Another half hour of diligent tracking later, you happen upon your first clue. A pattern of pockmarks have been hammered into the ground near the foot of a hill. Indents in the snow and dirt where the creatures have scuttled by. You follow the trail to a cave on the western side of the cliff, where you find a clutch of giant crab-like figures chittering restlessly. They're as large as you've heard from stories. Tall, hard-shelled beings with long, craggy limbs. And as soon as you appear, they rise to their full height. Some of them larger than an Ulgox. They shriek and move quickly toward you, their pincers snapping.
Oh no! We're gonna get pinched. We're gonna get pinched. Okay, so scenario goals. The scenario is complete when the coral corpse is dead. At the end of that round, read 3.3. Scenario effects. Each character adds one -1 card to their attack modifier deck. Now, the Drifter is immune, so that's good, but the Deathwalker will have it, so we'll click the apply here on there. That reminds me I need to give them an extra bit of health for their traveling cloak. Section links when door 1 is opened, which is down here. Then we read 42.1. Okay, so we just need to kill these guys. Easy. Time for battle goals. You hope I bought butter and Old Bay. What's Old Bay? I've never actually tried crab like properly before. I think I have ever properly had it before. My mother is allergic to shellfish, so in our house growing up, we never really had much seafood. And it's not really something that where I live is, you know, common. Okay, battle goal time. So for our Drifter, we have... Rambler, Recluse, Promoter. Hey! Move the Enthusiast. How's it going, buddy? Thank you so much for the resub. 2 months now with your Prime. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing awesome. Good to see you again on a live stream. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend, buddy. Hope you're doing well. So we've got the Rambler. End no more than 3 of your turns in a hex in which you started the turn, except when long resting. So basically, just keep on moving. Recluse. Never end your turn adjacent to any other character. Gain 1 additional check mark for 4 characters. That's a kind of interesting one we could maybe try and do. Promoter. Perform an ability targeting an ally before your first rest and in between each of your rests. That one's a bit trickier to do, I think. A little bit trickier to do. Rambler seems easy. Yeah, it does seem that, like, we can just keep on moving. Rambler seems... It's also because we're playing a melee-based character, so realistically, there's not many turns when we do stay in one place. Yeah, I like that. Rambler, then, for the Drifter. And then for our Deathwalker, we have... Oh, Accountant keeps coming up, huh? We have Die Hard. Never have your hit point value drop below half your hit points. Now, that is something that we could try and do. But we are... It's like you get hit by one enemy and you fail. Like, it's almost like that kind of level. But that could be possible in a scenario like this. Especially against lurkers who... Oh, lurkers do have multi-targets. So I guess we'd have to be a bit careful with that. Accountant, I don't really like because it's far too much like hand management stuff that I'm not a huge fan of. We do have a stamina potion now, so at least maybe we would be better at it. But we do start with 11 cards, so you know, we would use maybe the stamina potion. And then pickpocket, collect 2 or more loot tokens by performing a loot ability while adjacent to one or more. We don't have that. I think we're going to go for Die Hard and just try and not get hit. You've been having a hard time catching up to the live broadcast. Yeah, like I have been thinking a little bit about that, but I am tomorrow is my day off, so I'm not streaming tomorrow, so I won't be. So tomorrow will be like a good day to like breathe a little bit. But what I really wanted to do is I wanted to get my playthroughs up quickly, because what kind of happened with some of my other playthroughs is that I would finish them and then I would want to edit them. And I would edit them down quite a lot, which would take a lot of time. And it would mean that they wouldn't go up. And then eventually it just became like too much work for me. I kind of made like a rod for my own back. I made it way too much work for myself to get them up. So for this playthrough, I'm going to be like, no, I'm literally just going to be top and tailing it a little bit, making sure that I cut down like the intro if I ramble too much there, and the outro if I ramble too much there. But the bulk of the stream is going to be in there in one block. Then chapter it all so it's at least easy for people to jump through, and then you know that will be it. And I'll try and get that up within 24 hours of the actual live stream so that it is kind of available to people who want to watch it on YouTube, and I keep in a good habit of doing it. Like, that's my idea, but I appreciate that it's like a lot of uploads in a short period of time. Me rambling is part of the charm. You're here for it. Yeah, rambling, like I can't cut out all of the rambling I do like now because we've started, but the rambling like at the beginning and maybe at the end. Okay, Die Hard. We're gonna do it. We're gonna be Die Harding. So first turn. Now I want to play Abyss. And considering where we are, we can probably stay away. So hopefully this camera is working all okay for you guys today. So Call to the Abyss is I think what we want to do here with the top. So the bottom should really be some kind of movement. And I think what we'll do is we could make dark here. Or I could try and poison, I guess. No, I think that's fine. We'll go 82. Because we're quite far back from the enemies here, like we are, you know, set back from them, I think a good option here is just to take our time a little bit. And I think the classic opening is still applicable here. Crushing Weight, Continuous Health. We do also now have Shockwave, which is our level 2. So this will be coming into our rotation, but not quite yet. I think this is something that we maybe start to bring in, maybe like after the first rest, we maybe bring that in. Maybe we get through our Continuous or our Crushing Weight or something. If the drifter does his classic turn, it counts against the battle goal. What's the battle goal? Oh, like 1? Oh, yeah, good point. It says no more than 3, though. This is like 1, right? I think that's fine. Like, that's 1 out of 3. I think we'll be okay. I will make a note my end, though. Like, we're going to do it at least once. And then we're going to be long resting a lot. So. Okay, let's draw. Ooh. Here comes the big crab boy. He is moving 1. Okay, he looks. He's like a stone golem, but lurker form. Oh. Oh, these guys don't do anything. Okay, well, I mean, I guess that's fine. Just important to keep track. Yeah, we need to make sure we don't lose that. So we'll play both of these for our drifter. I can go over there now. And that's one of the 3 on our Rambler. I'll just put a token on it to remind myself that we've done it once. Okay. So that is that. And then we're going to do Call to the Abyss. And then Call of Doom. Okay, so let's move 3, make dark. Do I need to be there, or maybe I don't bother being quite there? To be fair, I can actually be a little bit further back. What's their movement? 2. Yeah, we're pretty okay there, I think. Right, so they've both gone. So on to the next turn. Okay, Deathwalker. We're just going to use Black Barrage here. Nothing glamorous, but we get some damage in. We get that marker up on him as well. Do you think what the other... I mean, I guess I play Eclipse as part of the other thing. They're quite slow, huh? Only just move 2. That's really slow. It's going to be hard to kind of like wait them out. Yeah. Okay, well, I think we still stay like how it is. Let's see what they do. Then for our drifter, let's go late again, but we'll try and get in a little bit closer. Should have a good opportunity to do a bit of a hit. Use 76, then we can use... I'll move 4, and then we are attack 2, which will turn into an attack 4, and we can move one of our token back that we use. Seems reasonable to me. Okay. Ooh, moving 3. All right. Create an earth. And they're going to move 1. Okay, so Drifter first. We will move 4. Then we're going to do an attack 2, but using Crushing Weight, it's going to be an attack 4. That gains us an XP. So we are going to attack for 4. 3. They have some innates, don't they? Oh, innate pierce. So that does 3 damage, and then this moves back. Oop. Then we have we couldn't quite have got what we wanted, so I'm kind of happy that all kind of worked out the way it did. So I'll use Black Barrage Top to attack for 3. And we will mark this guy with our token. Now I'm attacking for 3. I'm quite tempted to use advantage here. Because obviously a +1 draw would be quite nice. We would drop the shadow. But then maybe we could just let the Drifter help drop the shadow next turn. Might be better to use our advantage on the elite. Yeah, let's do that. Let's keep the Spyglass for advantage on the elite. We might get lucky anyway. Oh. Okay. Not lucky. So that's 3 damage, but we do gain an XP for that. And then we have a move 4. I want to go there, I think. I know they have innate target too, so I've got to be a little bit careful. I suppose I could just slip back 1. No, I mean, I guess if they have an innate target too, they could come get me anyway. Let's move forward a little bit. Okay, so now it's really important that my Drifter goes early here, but that will set me up for a very, very strong Restless Spirits, which is our new level 2, potentially here, which I am all about. We can hit like an absolute truck here. We have to be a bit careful with our battle call, but we can absolutely decimate here. Hey Zero, you didn't know Frosthaven has made it out to people yet? Some people got it like as early as November last year. But it's been being fulfilled over Kickstarter, like going out to backers since November. I got mine about 2 weeks ago, and there's still people waiting. So I think it'll probably still be not until the end of this month, really, until everybody's got their copy, I would think. Okay, I think this is a great turn for the Deathwalker. We could potentially move up, poison, and then attack for 6 with advantage. That's going to be a huge turn if we can pull it off. 20 initiative. Not too shabby. I suppose I could do kind of late initiative here. What's he got? 10 health? 6 with advantage on something with 10 health. I mean, I might do 7. I might switch that up to 64 initiative in a second. This guy's on 1 health. Kind of makes sense to use our little violent inheritance here to try and pick up some loot. Then maybe use draining arrows. So if we go on 23, then I could potentially use my boots of speed to go on 30. I think that might be a good play. Oh, not what I was expecting. Oh, shoot. So I could go... do I go earlier than them now on 10? No, because I can't make use of what I need to do. Alright, I think this is just going to happen. Okay, so wound all at range 1. So unfortunately, we're both getting wounded here. There's not much I can really do about that. Yikes. Got to be careful about dropping below half health with that wound. Then he's going to shield up for 1. Okay. Oh, this guy's going to get shield 2. Man, we're about to absolutely just destroy him as well. Okay. So Deathwalker, sorry, we're going on 30. We've used our boots. Okay. Deathwalker is so flexible but powerful. You're enjoying Deathwalker even more than you enjoyed Sunkeeper. Deathwalker for me is, yeah, there's a... Once you get that first shadow out on the board, if you're playing Call to the Abyss, from that point onwards, you can really make it work. But it's very much a combo character to me. That it's like you need to really get those shadows going, those first couple of shadows, to help you snowball, because if you don't, you will have a really difficult scenario. And like Eclipse is a good card for just getting them out, and that's obviously for a slightly different build. I like the Call to the Abyss sort of build though. It feels a bit more interesting. It's about the shadow making engine. Yeah, exactly. And if you can't either use Eclipse to get loads of shadows out and then don't really consume them, or consume them quite slowly, or use Call to the Abyss and just continually renew them by killing enemies, you really need to make that decision early on and just go for it. Otherwise, you'll have too many kind of nothing turns. So Drifter is going to go first. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to attack for 1 and loot 1. With Crushing Weight, that's going to be an attack 3. I don't think the wound's calculated correctly, but we'll be okay. We'll sort that out in a second. So we need to draw. Hopefully this kills. It does. +2. Nice. And then when it dies, I can place a shadow in or adjacent to the hex that it occupied. And then place it there. Then we're going to do our loot 1 action. So we'll pick up this loot. Come on, lumber. Snow Thistle. I don't think we've had Snow Thistle before. So that's at least a new one maybe to use on our board. It's quite good. Since I have Stab Bot, you can use Call to the Abyss bottom, then the top next turn. Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, that's a great point. I didn't think about that. Enjoyed, but you're right. That would be quite a nice nice use case there. Especially considering that you are an odd-sized, hand-sized character anyway, so you would kind of want to use it in your first rotation. Good, so that's Violent Inheritance. And then we're going to do Draining Arrows. 2. And then if you are move for 3, and then if you are adjacent to exactly 1 enemy, move the character token back on one of your abilities, which we'll do. Cool. Deathwalker's on 7, which is what she should be, I think. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, this isn't going to be quite as cool as I was hoping it was going to be, but it's still going to be pretty damn cool. So we're going to move for 3 in poison. We'll move on top of this shadow, and we will poison the elites. Then we're going to use Restless Spirits, which is attack 3 with Curse. If you are occupying a hex with a shadow, you may remove it to add +3 attack and 1 XP, which is what we will do. So this is going to be an attack 6. We're also going to mark this guy with our Call to the Abyss. So we're attacking for 6 with Curse. And we'll use our Spyglass here to gain advantage on this attack. So that's 7. So an attack of 7 with the poison, 8. He has shield 2. So it's 6 damage. So annoying, he'd basically be dead if it wasn't for that. Oh, and the curse. That's going to be so brutal. Once we combo that a lot more. That's just ridiculous. Okay. Let's see what we can do against this guy. Oh, hang on. Did he have shield 4 that round? Wait a minute. Did he have an 8 shield 2 and then he would have had shield 4? Or is that just the shield 2 is just to remind me? Confused myself now. He has 2 and 8 shield. So he had 4 shield that round? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just noticed that on his stat card. I was like, oh. We'll give him 2 more health back. He's a lucky crab boy. Shield 4, huh? I think we'll go 17 on the Drifter. We'll use the bottom of Shockwave. And we'll use the top of Fortitude to get through his thick shell. Okay. So we're going to be attacking for 5. Oh, there's a chance that the Drifter kills him. I think I maybe take that chance. See what happens here. Maybe I'll get my summon out. Maybe that can happen. Okay, so Drifter first is going to attack. So first off, we're going to use Fortitude top. So it's going to be an attack 3. We're going to use Crushing Weight to turn it into an attack 5. And yeah, that's basically it. So he's got poison, so it's an attack of 6 going through that shield. Ooh, yep. I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it. Oof, falls. Good. And he jumps to shadow. So then I think the Drifter, I just had like the move 3 at the shield. I think I'll go and get that loot. So we'll do an end of turn loot there. Lumber. Yeah, lumber. I need to update my spreadsheet, I think. Oh, cool. All right, my physical sheet here matches my digital sheet. That's good. So I can just write it down. 5 out of 8 now. It's really cool. Now this little fella's gonna move 2. He's gonna shield up a little bit. He's gonna create ice. Now the Deathwalker is gonna go. I need to be a bit careful to not drop below my half health, right, for my battle goal. I'll probably long rest maybe after 1 more turn, so it should be okay. So I'm gonna use summon our Shadow Beast. So we'll summon it here. And we will consume this shadow to do so. It's going to give us an XP. And we now have a nice Shadow Beast friend. And then the other card was just teleport or move. I guess I'll move. All right, next round. Let's go 7 health. Innate target 2. Gotta be a little bit careful with that. I think we just go early with the Deathwalker and we get our marker up on it and we just do a little bit of attacking. And then we're going to long rest, or I suppose I could stamina potion next turn. But I also feel like I want a long rest because I'm kind of close. So I'll do 1 more round, then I'll long rest, and then I'll only be on 5. As long as I don't take any more damage. And I won't fail my battle goal. I guess we'll go for bloodletting on the Drifter. And technically the Deathwalker goes first. Because they have two lower ones. Okay, so first up this guy's going to go. I want him to go there like that. And so we'll attack for 3. We'll put our mark down as well. 4. Then I'm going to attack for 2. Range 2. It's nothing crazy that I can do with my Deathwalker here. So 1. And then I can move. I guess I'm like, is the Drifter going to miss? It's possible. I think I'll just move though. Biscuit for a biscuit. Okay, Drifter turn. Very simple. We're just going to use our 14 as a move 2. And then we're going to attack for 3. Crushing weight. Make that 5. But if we kill him, we get to move the token back. So let's attack for 3. Sorry, we're attacking for 5. 5. You're dead. But and because it died, we get to move the token back. And that's it. Okay, next round. So, perfectly, we're going to long rest on the Deathwalker here. And the Drifter is going to... It doesn't really matter. I guess we pick up that loot. I'm going to be able to move the summon, actually, which is going to be quite nice. Plus, I killed my mark target. Thank you. I forgot about that. Thank you. Very important. Need to keep those shadows flowing. Right, so we are going to move 2, but we'll just move 1 here onto this loot, which will move the character token on one of your persistent abilities back 1 slot. So we'll do that. Crushing weight, we'll reset. Then Vile Assault will play nothing. We'll just play the top. Loot. $3 gold. We'll take that. Or 3 coins, I should say. Not necessarily gold. More than 3 gold. 3 times 2 gold. Okay, that is the Drifter done. Onto the Deathwalker. So Deathwalker is healing. So first things first. Make sure we don't go below that half health. Then we need to... Oh, we'll move the summon. Why not? While we're at it. We need to get rid of a card. Probably get rid of Lingering Rot. It's a little bit awkward, although I do really, really like that synergy, though. That was so cool to be able to move in, and that was actually really good. Maybe I should keep it. Maybe get rid of Eclipse. It's a good move, though. Like, if I'm not using Eclipse... Lingering Rot and Rest of Spirits was so good. Oh, whenever I long rest, I may move what... Oh, we've got our new thing. I almost forgot. We got our new thing. Whenever you long rest, you may move one shadow up to 3 hexes. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of Eclipse. Bit of a weird one. I know that usually you like to use it, but I've got loads of other... Like, I've got a few other move 3s, which I can get by with, and a teleport. We'll be okay. Okay, so this round, the Drifter's going to have to long rest. But it may mean that we can open the door with our... We could probably open the door with our Deathwalker. I could do a cheeky move back if I need to, using Shadow Step. So I could open the door with Call of Doom. And then if I need to, I could Shadow Step backwards into safety. I like this turn. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll probably remove some things now, because we're not going to be going back there, that's for sure. One, two. 42.1. Okay.
Having dispatched the lurkers out front, you make your way inside the tunnel, a dank burrow riddled with pits of frigid water and stretches of black ice. What's worse than the cold, however, is the smell. An intense putridness emanates from deep within the tunnel, equal parts rot and corrupted flesh. What it could be, you'd honestly rather not know.
What have they been eating in here, huh? What you been eating in here, crabs? Suspicious crabs. There's a nice long trail of blood. Alright, so this is going to be a fun one to try and get onto screen. Right. These are both on their starting spots, so that's easy enough. Matrix style spin. Spin move. Yeah, that works. You guys can see that okay, right? I'll probably be able to remove this tile in a second anyway, once we get going a little bit more. Okay. So, enemies. What do we have? We have an obstacle there, crystal. Well, I can press this button, can't I? Aha! That's so much easier. We have a couple of traps. So this is a poison and damage trap, I think. Yeah, damage and poison trap. Between us and the door. So the door is here. That's where we're trying to go. We got a snipper. Mine snipper. First time fighting this guy. So they're moving too. So I could move forward one more hex, couldn't I? We're okay. And then I won't use the top then. Seems okay. So then these guys are going to go. 1, 2. 1, 2. So they're nicely in range now. So now we can do a really, really good Forceful Spirits next turn. And kind of run away. And, oh, this guy doesn't do anything. Well, he does something, but he can't reach us. That's pretty mean. He could do a stun. Ooh. On 46 initiative, this guy could do a stun if Dark's around. I gotta be a bit careful with that. He's got innate target too, as well. Wow. Yeah, that could have been... That would be brutal. Stay away from the Mind Snipper. That guy is not nice. Right, so now onto the Drifter. So we're gonna heal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because of our continuous health. Which is also going to give us an XP. Okay. Then we are going to get some... We're going to lose a card and get some cards back. Shockwave might be something I could consider playing now. I think I'll get rid of Sustained Momentum. It's a nice one, but the fact that we've managed to get through the first room and we've still got pretty much all of our charges on our passives, that's very good going, I think. I'm quite happy with that. Okay. So, how to deal with these? So, we know what we're doing on the Deathwalker. We are absolutely using Forceful Spirits. So, huge Forceful Spirits. Turn. Oh my god. Then we could use the bottom of Restless Spirits to try and kill one as well. Deathwalker, man. Deathwalker is something else. Or I could use the bottom of Fluid Knights just to avoid taking damage entirely. I think we might have to be upping the difficulty soon, guys. I'm starting to think like these guys are just going to melt. I think we go for Bloodletting because we should get the other guy pretty low on for the Drifter to like come in afterwards. Move for attack for 3 and then hopefully killing to get our charge back. Okay, boots at the ready here maybe. Alright, not necessary. So Deathwalker first. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the top of Forceful Spirits first. So we're going to consume Dark here. And we're going to attack for 3 on both of these guys. I'm going to designate this one. I guess I could designate... I mean, I'll attack number 2 first and designate, and then I can swap, can't I, afterwards? Don't forget to move my summon, even though it's not going to do anything. Okay, so let's draw on number 2 first. He's marked. So, 3 damage. That didn't do quite enough. I need to draw a +1 on one of these, hopefully. Maybe I'll use my Spyglass on the next one. Yeah, so I'll do the same again, but I'll target the other one. And this time I'm going to use the Spyglass because I feel like I can... If I draw +1 here, I am going to be off to the races. Come on. Give me the deck. Give me the deck. Come on. Right. Oh, we would have got +1 anyway. Okay, well, +1. So that means we're going to attack for 4. So it's 4 damage to that one, taking it to 3. Now we get to do the cool thing. The real cool thing is we can use the bottom of Restless Spirits now to move 1 shadow up to 4 hexes. If the moved shadow is in the same hex as an enemy, that enemy suffers 3 damage, remove the shadow, and gain 1 XP. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Number 2? Number 6 is what I want to go for. 4. So on to this one. So it's going to do 3 damage. I guess I should have gained an XP from that card as well. I don't know if I did or not. Did I gain an XP from playing? I don't think I did. So we'll gain 2 XP there. This will die. We consume the shadow, but because it was marked, another shadow comes down. Oh, now we're cooking with gas. Right, so Deathwalker is done. Mind Snipper. Moving ever closer, but still does not have range. Needs range 3. Now up to the Drifter. So first up, we're going to move 4. Oh, I miscalculated. No, I miscalculated. Maybe I'll do it the other way around. Oh. I thought this was a join. I thought I could go there. Dang it. Oh, I suppose I could use my my spear, couldn't I? I could use my crude spear. We've got a crude spear. That's what that's for when I screw up. So we'll use our crude spear. So this item allows us to attack a single target melee attack, but 2 hexes away. So basically it turns a single target melee attack into a range 2 attack, but it's still a melee attack. It's not a ranged attack technically. But it allows us to target something at range 2. So that means the crushing weight is going to potentially trigger here. And we're going to use bloodletting. So we're going to attack for 5 here. Hopefully getting the kill. $10. I think it's safe to say. That he is dead. Because he died, we get to move a charge back. We get 1 XP for moving that charge forward. And then we're all good. So that's the end of that. Oh, hang on. Did I kill the wrong thing? Oh, I killed the wrong thing. No, no, I didn't. I just didn't do it. Ooh. What did sir? We are just owning right now. I think I'm going to have to put the difficulty up. If this is like pretty normal for this kind of thing. We're just decimating enemies in like 1 or 2 hits. I get the feeling that Frosthaven is a little bit more... like, we have less control in the game, right? So to compensate for that, I think they've kind of given us a bit more kind of raw damage potential at times to kind of compensate. Because the thing in Gloomhaven was always... you know, the first thing you want to do is kill something. Like, ideal option number 1 is kill something. If you can't kill it, okay, can you stun it, disarm it, or avoid taking damage from it? So can you kind of basically control it in some way? That was like secondary option number 2, right? There's never really like, and then like options number like 3 and 4 would be like, can I face tank it in some way? You know, if you're playing those types of characters that can do that kind of thing. Like, who should tank it? How do I tank it? But it feels like in Frosthaven so far, because there's like, both these characters have really no control at all, apart from a little bit of cursing now that we have, it does feel very much like we're just pushing raw numbers really high. Recon, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the quest. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you with us. Option 4, do I have to interact at all for the objective? Yeah. Oh, yeah, good point. And something like that too. Like, is there a reason why I need to do it? It's, but that was always kind of like the methodology in playing was always, okay, like, can I kill it right now? No. Okay, well, can I control it in some way so that I don't have to worry about it doing any damage to me? Yes or no, you'd do that. So option 1 seems to have gone away for the most part. Sorry, option 2 seems to have gone away for the most part. Option 1, killing stuff, still seems to be relatively viable as long as we group up and use our abilities well. So we'll see. But at the moment, I am... It's... I guess I was expecting more of a challenge than it's been. One, two, three. Maybe we'll move... You know I want to get that loot. You know I'm all about that loot. Let's have a look and see what we can do with our Deathwalker first before we consider our Drifter. Yeah, I got another really nice turn. I could Black Barrage to move this adjacent, and then I could Fluid Knight and attack for 5. So we could move the Shadow and then get it into range to be able to do Fluid Knight and attack for 5. This character's crazy. Ooh. It feels like we are consistently attacking for 4 and 5 a lot of the time with the Deathwalker. And that is a definitely above the curve. Like, you might have like characters like the Scoundrel who would attack for numbers like that, but it would be conditional, and you would often be putting yourself in harm's way. You'd have to be really careful because you could end up getting hurt yourself. It feels like it's quite easy to stay away from enemies. You also have a few thousand extra play hours on most casual players of the games. Well, yeah, I suppose that's... Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know what the balance is like for 2 versus 4 in a lot of these scenarios. I mean, generally speaking, Gloomhaven, I've always felt, has been, outside of a couple of choice scenarios, generally speaking, the balance between 2, 3, and 4 has been okay. Probably 4 is the way you want to play the game, ideally, to get like that full experience. But 3, I think, basically gives you most of that experience, but maybe you miss out on a little bit, but perhaps the actual time that you save by not having that extra player kind of is actually added value for you. I find it is. I think 3 is a great number to play because then you're not, you know, game just moves a little bit quicker. And then, you know, 2 is obviously something that some people... A lot of people would maybe play 2 characters each and maybe go up to the full 4. So I guess I've very rarely played just 2 apart from Crimson Scales. You know why Drifter is the most fun guy in Frosthaven? Because he likes clubbing. Oh my god. Moving on. Do we want to see if he moves forward? I think we kind of do, don't we? Let's go late on the Drifter. See if we can pick up some loot as well. Perhaps we can maybe make this attack 1, loot 1 work. Okay, Deathwalker first. Looks like our summon's going to be tanking for us here. Although they have got multiple targets, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use Black Barrage. We're going to go move a shadow up to 2 hexes. Then we're going to use Fluid Knight. Attack for 5. Perform the attack as if you were occupying a hex with a shadow, then remove the shadow. So we are basically pretending we're here and we're attacking here. So reaching through the shadow. So we're going to be attacking for 5. Doesn't have any shield, right? No. And we make dark. And we gain an XP. Okay. So now on to this guy. So he's got a move 3, attack 1, range 3. Elite adds Pierce and Muddle. Control all targets of the attack ability initiative order. What? Oh, and I see. Then they would attack each other. Oh, that's really thematically cool. I get it. So the Mind Snipper kind of has some mind control abilities. Okay. So it's going to move 3. Which I don't think it needs to do. This needs to go away. Oh, and I've marked this as well. I should make that clear. I've marked this. No. I can't put the little thing down. There you go. Is it not going to want to do... It's got an innate target 2, right? So is it not going to target 2 here? But I guess it couldn't get... It would have disadvantage. So it's actually not going to do it. It's just going to stay there and attack for 1, I think. Because it would have to go to here in order to get to the range 3. That would give it disadvantage on this attack, which it would never do. It would never go into disadvantage range. So it's actually just going to stay put. Because this movement's going to do nothing here, which kind of sucks. So it's going to attack our summon. Is this the first monster attack modifier I've drawn? I think it might be. Oh, no. You think it likes getting more targets over disadvantage? I don't think it does. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure. Because this, or unless they've changed the rules, maybe. I mean, I guess it's possible. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so this is like, yeah, okay. No, you're right. They've changed the rule. No, it's changed. Because it's listed as a Frosthaven change in the book. What view are you guys on? It's listed as a Frosthaven change in the book here with the little thing. So this is what it says on the in the blue text. When a monster performs ranged attacks on multiple targets, it moves to attack the most possible targets, including its focus, with the fewest possible disadvantaged attacks while using the fewest possible movement points. Like, that to me is a bit ambiguous in the way that it's worded, but, you know, like, you could read it like, okay, it's going to have the fewest... So the fewest possible disadvantaged attacks would be 0 disadvantaged attacks. So therefore, it wouldn't move. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a bit ambiguous in its wording. It's not 100% clear. There are some examples here. I don't know if they're any better. Doesn't look... No, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like they clear it up. But it's ambiguous in its wording, because it says, when a monster performs ranged attacks on multiple targets, it moves to attack the most possible targets, including its focus, with the fewest possible disadvantaged attacks while using the fewest possible movement points. So the fewest possible disadvantaged attacks would be 0, which would be it not moving. Right? It's like it could this could really do with like an extra line of text here to kind of clarify exactly what it means. Because I think you're probably right. I think it probably should read something like, when a monster performs a ranged attack on multiple targets, it always tries to attack the most possible targets using the fewest possible disadvantaged attacks while also using the fewest possible movement points. Like, there's just like the wording in this is just a little bit like gray area for interpretation. Like, yeah, but the fewest possible is a secondary consideration. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that that's probably what it means, but it does not explicitly say it that way. Like, it doesn't... Like, I could read that and misconstrue that because it doesn't say that. Because it doesn't use the word first or second anywhere in the rules, you know, and how it's explaining the rule. Like I said, what it should probably say, or it should read more like, is when a monster performs ranged attacks on multiple targets, it first will always move to attack the most possible targets, including its focus, using the fewest possible disadvantaged attacks, using the fewest possible movement points. Like, that would completely clear it up. So it's just it's odd, right? You think it's stated in order? Yeah, I think it could be, but like, I don't really understand why they've worded it the way they have, because it is just ambiguous. But I agree with you guys. I do think that is probably the case. It's very ambiguous, because the fewest possible disadvantaged attacks you could always argue to be 0. So therefore, you know, like, it's just a little bit odd. They just basically needed to put a line of text that says something like, monsters will always maximize number of attacks first. Then the other things come into consideration, right? It would have been a much easier way of conveying the same idea. Hey, Weasel, Frosthaven, it is. The question you had last night was, if a creature does something like attack one target and then poison all adjacent, does it move to poison more targets? No. No. So a good example of this would be... Another really good example of this would be something like the Hound ability... move, model, or adjacent targets, whatever it is. There's like the 6th initiative, or I can't remember. It's a very low initiative Hound card, right? That says like move for model all adjacent targets. It will always move towards the enemy in the shortest, with the shortest possible, or the fewest number of movement points that it has to use in order to get to that hex. That will be how it will do its focus, and it won't move additional to get more people in that ability. It will just go to that hex, do the ability. And the same is true for that, because it would be, okay, I want to perform an attack 1 on one target. So it would go to the hex that has the fewest possible movement points to get to that hex to do the attack 1 on that enemy. And then if a secondary part of the card was then poison all adjacent enemies, then that would happen. But it would have already moved at that point, right? Yeah, the only like the bit that we're talking about here, and the reason why this is slightly like this is different because it's specifically to do with multiple target attacks. So it will do this because it wants to try and maximize its targets. So this is fine. So basically this guy's going to go here. So the first attack is going to be against this, which is a miss and +0. And then its second attack is going to be against my my Deathwalker. So that's going to do no damage. However, we're going to do an attack 3 from the Deathwalker now on the Drifter. Funnily enough, I forgot I had the crude armor. I guess I can use the crude armor here to give disadvantage to the Deathwalker. That's kind of like funny. So -1. So it's going to do 2. And a muddle. It's kind of annoying, but kind of funny. Best example is enemy heal, where he doesn't move to allies. Yeah, like, well, yeah, non-attack abilities, right? They don't care about stuff like that. I'm playing on easy level. Yeah, at the moment, Vessi, I do feel like I need to up the difficulty. Like, I wanted to get a good start in this campaign. Like, I wanted to... I want to make good progress. I also want to give myself something to aspire to. You know, if I start playing it on, like, you know, +1, +2 straight away, then, like, there's nothing for me to kind of, like, you know, challenge myself with. You know, I don't want to be, like, hitting my head on a brick wall, failing scenarios over and over and over again, when my objective here is really to try and play the campaign quite fast. So, but I do feel like I need to go up to +1. Like, that, to me now, I feel like I need to go up to +1 from how it's been the last couple of scenarios. Like, it's, yeah, it's definitely needed. Deathwalker is muddled as well from the attack on him. Oh, did it? Oh, yes, you're right. It also added muddle. And I guess the summon too, right? Everybody's muddled. Yay. All right, so Drifter time. If I want normal level monsters, should be on level 2. No, I don't think so. Not with the usual calculations. Right? Average character level divided by 2, rounded up. Oh yeah, I know the solo one is slightly different, but I didn't think it would have... Oh, I mean, I've got solo selected on the app, so I've kind of just trusted that the app is doing it right, to be honest. Variant rules. Where's the variant rules? Never find... Ah, here we go. Then add 1 before dividing by 2. Okay. So the average level is 2, so it would be 3. Divided by 2 would be 1. So it's still 1. Right? So you take the average level of all characters in the scenario, which would be 2. Then you add 1, so 3, before dividing by 2. Which would be 3 divided by 2 is what? 0.7? I don't know. I'm not very good with maths. 1.5. Oh, yeah, of course. 1.5. Yeah, you're right. I should be playing on... And then it would be rounded up. So I should be on... So it should be on 2. You're right. Why didn't this work in the app then? Bruh. I pressed that earlier. Alright, well, we'll continue on 2 from now on. Alright, well, we'll continue from 2 from now on, but... I definitely had that ticked last time. I don't know why it unticked. You see why I'm having an easy time? Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's been very, very easy, this scenario so far. You remember saw some vids way back about Gloomhaven to Frosthaven changes. Now it has released. Any surprises? I mean, in terms of the rules, yeah, there's a few small ones that you just got to kind of keep on top of. But a lot of the changes are kind of like they just make sense, if you know what I mean. Like they're ones that either people kind of house ruled a little bit, or they just kind of logically make a lot of sense. They didn't make any sweeping changes to like the dungeon mechanics where you would suddenly have to relearn the game. Like for the most part, they are just like small changes that everyone kind of agree is, yeah, that's the better way to play it. So a lot of the time you probably would have been playing with the rules, or you'd be aware of the rules being a bit problematic. So there's a few there. I mean, the massive changes with Frosthaven is like the Outpost and basically the campaign structure. Like that is the big change. Like that is what's completely different, really. Apart from like getting stickers and sticking them on the board and that kind of thing and doing your events and stuff. But now you've got different event decks. You've got crafting. You're building up the town. There's just like a lot more going on. Summons dropping loot was the one you did not see coming. Yeah. I think a lot of that was also down to... a lot of that kind of stuff is down to the fact that there's less summoning enemies in general, though, in Frosthaven. So, like, a lot of people didn't like the rule that they didn't, or didn't like having to remember. Like, for me, one thing that is a bit of a bugbear with any game, any board game, is when it expects you to remember something, but doesn't give you a way to track remembering it, right? That's one thing that really annoys me with a board game. Like, if I'm ever playing it and they're like, you have a card and it's like, oh, you get a point every time you do this, but they give you no way of tracking, like with either point tokens or whatever it may be, it really annoyed me. So in Gloomhaven, it annoyed me that it was like, oh yeah, summon enemies, you don't get coins, but those same enemies, there were also regular enemies of that type in that scenario. So, you know, if a room got really, really busy with loads of living bones, and cultists were summoning more living bones, and it all got mixed together into a big mess, it was you had to try and work out which one had the loot. It just wasn't very, like, I just don't like it when games do that to you. Like, it's really bad. A mass loot is not a big problem when you are capped on loot by the loot deck. Yeah, that too. I don't know how the enhancement system is going to work in terms of costs and things, but obviously they've changed the fact that you can't put certain enhancements in certain places. They now have the little symbol, kind of the shapes of the enhancements that you can put on. So that will also go a long way as to stopping people from maybe just amassing a bunch of gold, buying some really broken enhancement, and then just proceeding to steamroller the game. So maybe that is also another way that they can kind of restrict it. But also the fact that a lot of the time what you're picking up is not gold, it's wood, metal, and or herbs, and all of that stuff is what you need to progress the other elements of the game. So, you know, are enhancements still limited by prosperity? I couldn't tell you because I don't have them unlocked yet. I'm going to assume that there may be a building that I need to build in order to do that, or a character I need to meet in the story in order to do that, similar to how Gloomhaven worked, but I don't know. So I couldn't tell you. But yeah, that's super annoying though that we were playing on +0 and not on increased difficulty there. So, but we'll keep it for now, and we will kind of continue on. It probably wouldn't have made loads of difference, but it might have made a little bit of difference here because we killed a couple of these enemies real quick. All right, so now it's my drifter's go anyway. So we're gonna move 3. Just 2. If we are adjacent to exactly one enemy, move the character token back on something. We'll move it back on continuous health. And then we'll just do an attack 3 using violent inheritance with the loot 1. So we'll attack for 3 using crushing weight. So we get an XP for crushing weight. We are muddled though. Sad. Ooh. Okay, that's pretty good. So attack for 4. Dead. How much more health would it have had if it was 1 level higher? Is that 1 more health, guys? Because it was on 7 when we... Eight. Yeah, 7 or 8. So not a huge difference there. Loot. So we would have killed him from that draw anyway, but of course, you know, maybe would have done a little bit more. Well, we upped the damage, I guess. I guess the difference between 1 and 2 is maybe not great on some enemies. Like if you have a look at this guy, what was the difference there? Can I have a look at it, please? There you go. So the difference between 1 and 2 is 1 extra attack, 1 extra health. Not a huge amount of difference, really. Loot. Lumber. Metal. We'll take it. Don't forget his loot too. Okay. Right. I guess I should maybe try and get some blue on the Deathwalker. What do we think? Hey, Kira. You did not expect a Saturday stream? Yeah, I'm just streaming 4 days in a row, baby. I've got the Frosthaven bug. Let's go and grab that loot. I think it'd be nice for the Deathwalker to actually grab some loot in this scenario. At least 1 piece of loot. Right, can you guys see that okay? Because I can probably, like, adjust everything a bit more now. You can kind of see... You can see where we're going, though. You can see where we're off to. Oh, we can get Shockwave up. I'm kind of about that. We can get Shockwave for the next room. Oh, baby. Thought I was going to play a Blink Blade, playing it in my friend group. Yeah, so initially Blink Blade was the one that was going to be like, it was going to be instead of the Deathwalker. So originally Blink Blade was the character that I personally was like, I really want to play the Blink Blade. It looks a lot of fun. And over time, I just kind of like, the more I looked at the Deathwalker, I was like, this character looks like a hell of a lot of fun. Like a lot of combos, a lot of synergy. And I was thinking, like, in a stream situation as well, the Deathwalker is just like a really nice one to play on stream because we've got our shadows moving around. It's a very visual character, whereas the Blink Blade is a lot more like internal with their time tokens. So to me, it just felt a little bit more like more engaging and fun to play, and also just it looked possibly more fun. The other thing is I wanted, I was pretty sure that the other character was going to be the Drifter, just so I had a nice sort of solid base to go from. And yeah, it just seemed like it was the natural fun pairing. So you missed a level up, it seems. Yes, we went to level 2 at the end of yesterday's session. Hey, Ferry. Good evening to you. All right, let's go. Let's go. So we're just moving 3. We're just moving 3, not doing a hell of a lot here. 1, 2, 3, and we're grabbing this loot. Right, not wood. Oh. It's doing that thing again. Coin. Okay. Now onto the Drifter. We are going to move 2. 1, 2. Move back on Crushing Weight. And then we're going to play Shockwave. Shockwave. I'll put it there for now, but I will move these cards around for you guys to see a bit clearer in a sec. So next time we're going to long rest on the Deathwalker. You loving watching the Deathwalker? Maybe your favorite starter from Frosthaven. The design alone is so cool. Yeah, I really like it. You're playing Frosthaven for the first time this week. Do you have any tips for playing the Deathwalker? Yeah, so I think so we've been kind of like playing a little bit of a hybrid play style over the first few sessions. Like generally speaking, there's kind of like a ranged and a melee style build that you're going to play. And there's 2 cards that are very important, and you're going to probably choose to play one or the other. You'll probably have both of them in your hand and in your kind of your playing hand. But you're only going to burn one of them, and you're either going to burn Call to the Abyss if you're doing more of the kind of ranged build. I think is what people suggest. I think it's more for the ranged build, and then you have the Eclipse, which I've got somewhere else, which is what you would use for more of the melee build, but. Basically, when you first start playing the character, I wouldn't worry too much about, am I a melee character or am I a ranged character? I wouldn't worry about that. I would just worry about, okay, can I get some shadows going? And Eclipse is the easiest way of doing that. Eclipse will just give you a bunch of shadows to begin with, and then you can learn how to use them. So my advice would be maybe the first scenario that you play, if you're starting on scenario 1, I wouldn't maybe use Eclipse immediately. I would maybe use the bottom of Call to the Abyss to make a shadow instead. But I think if you were in scenario 1, once you've done the first room, you then go into like a really big room with a bunch of enemies in it. I would probably play Eclipse at that point in time and then just have fun experimenting with all of your shadows. I would do it that kind of way. And then see how you feel about it. I like Call to the Abyss personally a little bit more because it feels really combo-y, which I really enjoy. Which is like I'm gonna remove a shadow to do a huge amount of damage, but then when the enemy dies, he drops the shadow, and then I get to use that shadow again, and it's kind of like a snowball effect where you're kind of just snowballing one kill into another kill into another kill, and that feels really, really satisfying. But Eclipse will give you a lot more of the kind of shenanigans where you can be like, oh, I can teleport over here, or I can wound an enemy when they move through it. I can do all this kind of stuff. You know, like there's a more shenanigans that you can do with Eclipse because you're going to have more than one shadow. You know, Call to the Abyss, really, I have like one shadow at any one time. That's pretty much it. I don't have much more than that. So it's and if you end up missing on some attacks, which has happened to me before, and you don't kill something, then suddenly you look really bad if you were only playing Call to the Abyss. So yeah, my general advice would be play Eclipse your first scenario. Try and save it to the second room, but maybe you could use it towards the end of the first room if you're going to move everything around. And just kind of have fun messing around with the shadows for a little bit for your first couple of scenarios and figuring out which method of generating the shadows you feel comfortable with. Whether it is just, I want to flood the board with a load and then not consume them, but move them around and use them. Or if you want to go down the Call to the Abyss way, which is like, I'm going to use one, I'm going to consume one, make one, consume one, make one, that kind of style. When I'm in the draw phase, bottom left, you cannot draw loot. Oh, was it because I wasn't in the right phase? Gotcha. Eclipse is a good panic button to get lots of shadows fast. Call to the Abyss is a slow roller. You like Cool more than Eclipse. Yeah, I think I like Cool more because it feels like you're getting more rewarded for like playing well, if that makes sense. And like the benefits of consuming a shadow is like supercharged attacks. So like it feels fun too. To be able to like attack something for 6, that's a lot of fun. Just finishing off Forgotten Circles with your daughter, who is then buggering off for backpacking for 6 months. Oh, very nice. Forgotten Circles still the only Gloomhaven thing that I haven't played. And to be honest, probably will never play. What am I doing here? I'm just moving, aren't I? I'm really just moving. I don't need to make it too overly complicated here. Do I need to heal? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, I don't. Literally just going to move to. Why won't I play it? Just because I'm kind of done with Gloomhaven for the most part. And I would have to get all of my Gloomhaven out and then play that game on top. I've also, you know, I know a lot about it despite not playing it through obviously all the conversations we've had here on my stream. That it's a very, what I would say in the UK, Marmite expansion, which is you either love it or you hate it. It's different to Gloomhaven. It is not, you know, and speaking to other people who have played it, it is not the style of Gloomhaven that I personally enjoy. So I kind of know that I'm probably not going to love it. I do own the expansion, but my group split up before I had the opportunity to start playing it. So it kind of like just naturally we didn't get around to playing it. because we finished Gloomhaven, and I was like, yeah, we'll play Forgotten Circles. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then just life got in the way. So it just never happened. So I kind of missed my opportunity to play it with the group that I was playing original Gloomhaven with. And yeah, it's just, and the class, I didn't like the fact that I have the first edition version of it as well. So I have the old class. What is it? The Diviner. I have the old version of that. And then the fact that they did like a redo of it. And we're like, hey, here's like a second edition with like different ability, like some tweaked ability cards. And then they were like, oh, there's a print and play that you can get. But then the print and play, apparently the quality was really bad. So then they shut it down. And then I don't know if it's reopened again. Like the whole thing is just kind of left a bit of a bad taste in my mouth. And like knowing that the expansion is probably not one that I would massively enjoy anyway, it's kind of just put me off. So like maybe like the thing that would have made me play it is if they put it in digital. So if Gloomhaven Digital had put Forgotten Circles in, which we all knew was probably not going to happen, but there was an outside shot that might have happened. If that did happen, then I would have played it. But that was like the last chance that had for me to play. With how easy I find base Gloomhaven, first edition Diviner will not be a problem for me. It's not about the difficulty of the class. It was more about just it annoyed me that there was a revised version of a class. Like to me, that's just not like it. Yes, maybe it was hard to play, but also was it just weak? And one of the builds was weaker, or one of the builds was stronger than the other. I don't know. I can't remember the exact specifics of it. But for that, just I don't like that. I don't like the fact that they're going to be tweaking. I would have much rather they just left it as it was. I was kind of surprised that they did do anything, considering that like they printed a huge amount of them and they didn't sell many. It actually ended up kind of bombing, really. You know, you can now buy first edition copies of that expansion here in the UK for like £5. Like it's, you know, you can buy it like so cheap because they've made so many and they can't give it away because people just don't want to play it. So, you know, that to me is like, do I really want to spend my time doing that? I would probably much rather just like replay Jaws of the Lion or something. Hey, Dwarf. Not here long probably, but just saying, hey, how's it going, buddy? Happy Saturday. What are my thoughts on Frosthaven scenario difficulty so far versus Gloomhaven? Well, so considering that I haven't been playing it on the correct difficulty, well, at least for this scenario, I haven't been playing it on the correct difficulty. Easy, but I mean, I haven't struggled. I have not struggled one bit. But I have been maximizing my loot a lot, which is much more than I would usually do. So it's a bit difficult to say because maybe they want the scenarios to be a little bit easier or a little bit more flexible for you to get loot because loot is such an integral part of the game's progression loop now, whereas it wasn't before. So for example, you could make a really hard scenario and you could, you know, players could ignore loot and chests and things like that because they were playing super efficiently, maximizing their turns to attack enemies and control enemies and stuff like that. But now that's not always going to be the case. Like, although you can loot pretty efficiently, like they do have nice efficient loot cards, the Drifter especially, I still feel like, you know, I am taking turns to go back to go get some loot, whereas I would probably never do that in Gloomhaven. So, but maybe they built that into the game a little bit more to be like, yeah, players need to concentrate on it. So maybe we need to give people a bit more wiggle room. I don't know. It's interesting. The first scenario is a lower difficulty. Okay, well then there you go. That too then. So maybe it is just that we haven't played a difficult scenario yet. It's just been easy up to this point, really. I would say that scenario 1 felt like it was... I mean, like maybe a little bit easier, but it felt like I had a decent amount of enemies in it, really. But maybe like the length of it in terms of like number of tiles, like tile length was shorter. And then I guess the second scenario, or scenario 3, that was the one that we did, that one was easier, but that was mainly easier because of the whole, like, the scenario rules of the allies and stuff like that. So that was kind of easier for us because of that. And then the last one that we did, which was the one with the two bosses fighting each other, that one was pretty easy, I would say. That one felt easy. But there was scope for it to go wildly out of hand and wrong for you at some point. Like with a lot of the scenarios, it has felt like there is the potential for it to go wrong. Like fast. It does feel like that potential is there. So yeah. But ultimately, at the moment, no. So I am considering increasing the difficulty even more. We've now increased it like as it should be. This scenario, that was good that I sensed that something was wrong. But the fact that we were playing on lower difficulty than we should have been to start the scenario is going to make it very easy. We'll make sure to take the lower rewards when we're finished. We'll keep playing at level 2 from now on for the next room, but I will take the lower rewards at the end of the scenario. You've also seen me draw some really clutch times too. Yeah, I mean, this scenario in particular, we've been critting like mad. Okay, so that's gone. We need to do a little long rest. Boop, boop. And when we long rest, we can move a shadow up to 3 hexes. This has already been well worth the point that we spent on it. Oh my god. Have I done all the solo scenarios on digital? I don't know if I did actually do all of them. I think I did most of them, but I was trying to do them all on plus 2. Was it plus 2 or was I doing on plus 3? I can't remember doing plus 3. Good. You had a hunch. Yeah, I mean, moving, especially for this particular build that I'm playing right now, where I'm only playing with one shadow. Because, like, I'm playing with one shadow, so only getting to move one, that's fine. Long as I'm taking one shadow with me between each room, we're good. Long as I'm just pulling one along for the ride every time, we're good. I think we'll get rid of Lingering Rot now. Okay, so now it will be time for the Drifter to do a long rest. I haven't used his stamina potion again. I always forget when I have a stamina potion. Am I going to have to walk through these traps? How much damage are they going to do? 4? I suppose I have jump, don't I, on the Drifter? Maybe I just open the door and then come back on the next turn. And maybe we just use that as a bit of a barrier. Could be interesting. Yeah. I don't really have anything to do here, to be honest. I have like one of those turns where it's like, meh, don't really have anything to do. I should maybe get rid of the summon too and resummoning it for XP points. Is it 4 plus poison? It is, yeah. Fall damage and poison. Is this linked scenario or am I going to Outpost after this? I don't know. I don't think you know until you actually complete it, right? I don't think it tells you if it's linked to another one until you actually complete it. Okay, so we're just gonna move this to here, I guess. That's all I got. So Drifter is going to heal 4 because of continuous health and gaining XP. Reset our crude spear, reset our crude armor. No, we need to get rid of a card. Yeah, we're going to have a couple of, like, dead turns, aren't we? That kind of blows. I think we'll get rid of draining arrows. Okay. So I can't open the door this turn, really. Not in a good way. Oh, sorry, that's on the Drifter. We're just going to move closer to the door again, guys, and move a token back. You don't know for sure, but you don't think this is a link. Link scenarios are nice because you can build up resources before time passes. Yeah, link scenarios seem to be actually, like, good for the players this time, which is interesting because, like, I would always say to people in Gloomhaven, never do a link. It's like, always go back because it gives you the opportunity to draw another event, which can quite often give you some cool stuff. So there was always a good reason to go and do another city event. Yes, road events can be detrimental, but for the most part, players can, you know, deal with anything that comes up through that. So it's more a case of, you know, getting extra prosperity and stuff like that, donating to the temple. You know, every time you go back, you can donate to the temple. All those little things that can basically add up to being worth it. Whereas actually here, not going back is really good because you don't want to advance that too much. And then when you go back, you can kind of go, bam, I'm going to buy a bunch of stuff and like have a big outpost phase where you do a lot. So instead of it going back to Gloomhaven all the time and doing lots of little things and then being like, right, go back again. It always felt weird that you would go back, resolve an event, and then just go again. Now it's kind of like you go back and you actually have like a proper thing that you do. And you have, yeah, you're going to spend like a bit of time actually going through it, which is cool. I got wing shoes. Yeah, I got wing shoes on the Drifter. Deathwalker can teleport over the traps if we need to, I guess. Yeah, this feels really bad in terms of the turns that I'm taking here, but I don't think I have much I can really do here. I am wasting turns here. I'm being quite inefficient, it feels like. So I'm just going to move 3 and make dark. And then we'll just not use Anger of the Dead. Drifter is going to move a token back on continuous health.
Love your content. Enjoying 4 live streams in a row.
Hey, Quadsdolf. Thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. 2 months in a row. Quest continues, Ryan. Glad you're enjoying it, buddy. That's awesome. The quest continues, my friend. Good to have you back for another month. I much appreciate it. Is there a door somewhere? The door is here. Sorry, I just didn't put it on because it was kind of covering the card at the time. Okay, this is the round. We're gonna go for a bit. We're gonna go super hard here. Yeah. Go big or go home, I say. This is so risky. I love it. I probably should unsummon this guy, huh? It's gotten quite far behind now. Right, Drifter first. Alright, let's do this. Leroy! Right, move 4. And we're going to use our wing shoes. So 1, 2. Oop. Right, let me sort all of this out. Right, how's this going to be the best way to show you guys? It's probably going to be like up here like this. Yeah, definitely like this. $48.4. Ooh. Is that right? No. I don't think the artwork is orientated correctly in the book. I think that's right. Right, we're there. We got 3 in front of us. No, because we're coming in like on a corner. 4A. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I'm just being dumb. Oh, does it not clip in? Am I being... It looks like it's not printed the correct way. Attaching it to the wrong side of the corridor, so just attach it at the 2. Oh! I am just being dumb. Okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense now. Yeah, that looks better now. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it. Maybe it should be more like... Yeah, no, it is that. It is definitely that. Yeah, it would help if I attach it to the right thing, huh? Jeez, that's why this is the better orientation then. Okay. So we need to read 48.4.
The earthen tunnel eventually gives way to a natural cavern where you find a half-rotted humanoid corpse shuffling aimlessly around like a lost drunk. The smell is incredible, burning your eyes and your throat. Looking closer, you see a large pink stone lodged in the creature's right eye socket. Another wave of reeking air overwhelms you, and you retch involuntarily. At this sound, the corpse turns and snarls.
Did we just vomit? It's funny that my summon even survived that long. In Gloomhaven, most summons die within 2 rounds. Yeah, especially melee ones, right? I don't know. Like, it's just... I think just good initiative dancing and the fact he's been behind a lot of the time. That was a wet one. Okay, we got a frozen corpse. Rah. So he's there. Directly opposite the door. More horrible putrid traps. This guy has 1 HP. Well, I will say, like, if you look at the special rules say the frozen corpse is the coral corpse. It has health times character hit points. It is immune to immobilize, disarm, stun, and adds brittle to all attacks. That's the first time we've had brittle. But obviously, health times character hit points would be 2. Wouldn't it be? Oh, no, it's health times characters. 22. Yeah, so it has what it is right. Should be in between. Oh, you're right. Should be in between the traps. You're right. No, hang on. Yeah, no, it should be there. So it's health times character. Elite health times 2. Yeah. No, that makes more sense, yeah. Okay. Well, interesting. What's he doing? Ooh, he's got like a scary AoE there, huh? Well, I can't get to him with my Vile Assault now. Do we just hang back? I don't think I really want to take a big brittle hit here. I can't get in with Vile Assault. Well, that view's not very good for you guys at the moment, huh? There you go. Jump back out. He comes to you. Yeah, I think that would be... Seems like the logical thing to do here. Play around these traps. He's not immune to poison, so... Shockwave is looking less good. But very slowly would be a lot of wasted turns. What's he? It's got move 2. It wouldn't be that slowly. It could, in theory, do it in two turns. Unless, of course, it has, like, similar to Living Corpse style abilities where it just stands there and does nothing. Okay, I guess that could also be the case. I guess I could go round here, couldn't I? Split the party. Gives me a clear line for that chest. You know, I like them chests. Then we'll go. So that's the Drifter. Then we will go on the Deathwalker. So we're going to use Forceful Spirit's bottom for once. Teleport to a hex with a shadow or adjacent to a shadow. Boop. And then the other card we're not going to play. But I will probably use my stamina potion here. To get a card back. I don't know how much of these you guys can see right now. Probably not a lot. How's that on the overhead camera? I'm not sure. So I think we'll get back something that moves the shadow. Let's use Restless Spirits. Okay. Oh, this would also move. He's going to move, but he's going to kill himself on a trap, unfortunately. Sorry, he's going to go 1, 2. Fight me. Oh, well, 1, 2. Oh, that's fine. It can shadows can occupy the same hexes as traps, you know, obviously. So that should be fine. I can move it straight there. I was thinking for a second there, I was like, oh, hang on a minute. What? Can I do that? Of course I can. I've done it here. So... We're going to be short rest time, I think, on the Drifter. Okay, we'll just go. We'll just try and just do some nice attacks. Actually, what I'll probably do is use Fortitude Top, I think. Okay. Oh, it's gotten quite messy up there now. You guys can't see a lot of stuff. Let me move things around. Deathwalker stuff's been relegated. Okay, so let's... Yeah, let's go early on the Drifter. We're going to go... What is he doing? Moving for 2, attacking for 3 plus Brittle. Brittle is... I've not had to deal with this yet, but this is going to be really painful. So we're going to move for 2 here. And we're going to attack for 3 with crushing weight 5. Five. Nope. Oh, I haven't given him his number yet. That's why. Interesting that it was spawning cards, but it didn't have his number. Okay, summons go. Bap, bap, bleh. Shield 1 retaliate as well. Oh, you're right. Shoot. Did not see that. Ouch. I guess the retaliate in Bristle is kind of anti-synergy though, right? Because that would trigger off of that, right? Because it's the next instance of damage that you take. Not the next attack damage that you take. So that's got some like anti-synergy with Brittle. Yeah, damage from any source. Also works with wounds. Yeah. So it's actually like Brittle's got anti-synergy with that retaliate, because depending on how I order my turns, I can just force it to trigger on the retaliate. And then it was basically like I'm fighting a guy with retaliate too. Yeah. And with wounds and short rests and so on, yeah. Yeah, it feels like I can probably play around that pretty effectively. So that's Drifter. So now Deathwalker time. So we'll use Restless Spirits here. Four. And we'll attack for 5. I think this is not the most efficient, really, use of what I could do, but I think this is, like, okay for now. So we're going to attack for 5. I'll use my Spyglass to give myself advantage here, because there's no reason why not. Five. With the shields, that'll be 4. And we generate dark. We gain 1 XP. And the shadow goes away. Okay. Shadow Beast is dead. Have I unlocked stamina potions yet? Yes. I've got 1 that I have unlocked. Yes, they are nerfed. So now the stamina potion that I have, it's just called stamina potion. And it says that I can recover a level 1 card only. So you can't do anything other than a level 1 card with it. And also it's unrecoverable. So it has like the unrecoverable symbol on it. So that would mean that it wouldn't be subjected to the usual shenanigans with some of the high prosperity items in Gloomhaven. So yeah, I used it actually a couple of turns ago, or last turn. So there you go. That's the new stamina potion. During your turn, recover 1 level 1 card from your discard pile, and it is unrecoverable loss. And there are only 2 of them. Yes, exactly. And there's only 2 of them. That's another good point. So not every character can have 1. Short rest time, I think, after this attack. Just trying to think if there's anything more I need to do. Like, do I need to heal on my Drifter? Not really, not right now. Okay, so I'm going to be attacked then for 3, and they're going to make ice. What you got for me, buddy? 1. But Brittle is in play. Soundpot is intended to be competitive with other potions now, not the god tier item anymore. Yes. Yeah, and I think that's a smart move. Like, the main problem that Gloomhaven had with its general item design, or power level, if you like, was that there were some items that were just, like, basically unusable. Like, they just weren't... There was no reason to use them over another item. Even if you got it for free, even if you had a scenario that maybe could use it in an interesting way, it never really made sense or was really required for the players to do that. So there needed to definitely be a general toning down of the power level of, you know, especially items that deal with the basic things of the game. Like, if you think about it, like, in terms of, like, basically managing a character, every character needs movement. So movement plus movement boots of striding were too good. basically, for level 1 starting boots. Too good. Every character needs movement, so every character will quite happily wear them, regardless of who you are. And although there are a few characters, obviously, that had huge amounts of movement themselves, so maybe didn't need them, they were few and far between. Pretty much every character could or would use those. So that needed to come down. Like attacks, of course, as well, as something that also needs to be a core part of the game. Pretty much every character attacks, or most characters attack. So anything that gave you, like, crazy attacking benefits and bonuses. Looking at you, piercing bow. Looking at you, eagle eye goggles. Looking at you, warhammer. Those items were a bit too strong as well, because again, they just combo really well with certain abilities, and so well that you would never really want to swap them out, or you'd be struggling to swap them out. And then the last thing is stamina. That is something that every single character has to deal with in the game, pretty much, apart from a couple that have got stupid amounts. But for the most part, every single character wants to recur cards, especially their best cards. So like those three kind of things, if you like, those three pillars of like every character has stamina in, what they're doing. Every character needs to use movement to move around the scenario, get between rooms, and needs to escape certain scenario conditions. You need more movement, all of that kind of stuff. And attacking, you need to kill monsters, you need to kill enemies. So like those three things, like any item that really affects those three things needs to be very carefully balanced, because if it's just suddenly too strong, every single character will want a copy of it. So, and I feel like if you manage to like bring the power level generally down for those, in line with some of the more, unique items that do something a little bit different or attack the game in a slightly different way, a bit more utility, then you're in the right ballpark, right? Ruel. Is it Ruel? I hope I said that right. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the quest. Hope you're doing well. Since stamina potions were subject to some of the abusive infinite stuff in Gloomhaven, did they mention anything specific that they don't want that to happen again? Well, I mean, you've got this now, right? Which is like a clear indication. I mean, I think the fact that this is a non-recoverable item, which there were no non-recoverable items in Gloomhaven at all. I'm trying to think if there is one. I can't think of one off the top of my head. So any character that would recover items in any way basically had free reign of the small item slot. I think looking back now, we can all probably I don't know what Isaac's thoughts on it. He may say that he's happy with it, but I think looking back, I would say that 3 spears was a mistake in terms of the mechanic is cool. Like what the character did was cool, and I like the fact that it messes around with stamina and items, and that's their thing. I like that as a unique mechanic for a character. I just didn't like the execution because it was way too janky, way too like it lived in the gray area of the rules to such an extent that it kind of ruined the rules for everybody else. It just, I don't think that they should that showed, I think, going too far with messing maybe with some of the core mechanics of the game. It could be problematic if you don't put things in place to stop this from happening. So you just need to be more careful when you're messing around with that sort of part of the game, which is such a core mechanic on how the game works. It's such a core mechanic on how you proceed in the scenarios, and every character does it. To have a character that just does that stuff better than everybody else, and has an infinite loop, is a problem. It's a big problem. So I don't think they'll make that. I don't think Isaac will make that mistake again. I would be very surprised in Frosthaven if there is. If there is something, it must be something that slipped by, or it's some sort of rules interpretation that's not clear enough. But I would imagine that for the most part, anything like that would come up would probably be errated out of the game pretty fast this time, rather than being allowed to kind of sit there and just be in the game. Perfect pronunciation, thanks. I always get a bit nervous when I have to pronounce someone's name for the first time. So yeah, I think I would be so surprised that after playing Frosthaven, I would find a character that had some broken combo that was not known about. You know, the amount of playtesting that's gone into Frosthaven versus Gloomhaven before it came out, I would be so surprised if there is some kind of broken combination of a character with an item, with an ability, with an enhancement, any of that kind of stuff. I'd be really surprised. And if it is in the game, I would actually probably now more likely assume that that is intentional and that is actually something that they want you to be able to do. Which then you may agree or disagree with it. But I don't think we're going to be in a situation with the 3 spears where it felt more like the horse bolted and it was then proven after, you know, play testing by the wider community and when people got the game. This is too good. Like, this shouldn't really exist. But by that point, like, the game is out. Like, it's, you know, people enjoy playing that way. You know, who's going to be the person to, you know, drop the ban hammer on a character that might be somebody's favorite character? It's a bit hard to do that in a board game, especially one that's a cooperative, not a competitive game. You know, when you're playing a cooperative game, you don't need to worry about balance half as much because, sure, one player might be doing more than everybody else, which might upset the other players, but ultimately you're still winning as a team, which is okay. In a competitive game, it'd be a really big problem because, of course, then it would be this is better than that, and that's a problem, so you need to fix it. So, yeah, but with the amount of playtesting and with all of the people who are involved and all the lessons learned from Gloomhaven, I would be very surprised. Okay, so that's all of them done. So we need to try and dispatch this guy pretty quickly because this brittle could hurt if we have to do it for too long. So let's do a short rest here on the drifter. Heal removes brittle, right? To be honest, I don't think I really care about it, but Quartermaster's solo item was errated to be non-recoverable. Ah, there you go. So there was one non-recoverable item then, I guess. But again, that was errated after the fact, right? So unless you are keeping on top of the errata, you might not have done it. I need to get rid of a card. That's what I'm doing. Because the thing with errata's like stuff is, you know, I don't mind it too much. I actually might want to not get rid of that. That was my earliest initiative I just lost. Actually, we're against a frozen corpse. It'll be fine. And we'll do the same with the Deathwalker here. Yeah, with errata, it really means that you have to keep on top of it. And one thing that, you know, with the Frosthaven errata is, you know, a little bit concerning is that some people may not go and look it up because you may just be thinking, yeah, we'll just play. And I think it's perfectly possible to play for a little bit without finding any of those mistakes. But a lot of them will be maybe a bit more obvious. I don't know. Shadow Step. All right, we can get rid of that. We don't need that. Okay. Maybe it's just time for Vile Assault. We just go at him. To be fair, we should be able to win. We could even win this turn. Yeah, we could probably win this turn. We'll go 27 on the Drifter. Yeah, the Deathwalker. We'll go on 28. Oh, he's doing that attack again. Yeah, this mini boss isn't bad. Yeah, he's pretty easy to deal with. I guess like frozen corpses and just living corpses in the previous Gloomhaven game were always quite easy to deal with. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we may as well jump on the chest just in case. You never know. But we'll move on to the chest. And we will attack for 2, but with crushing weight, it's going to be 4 with poison. So 3 with the shield, 2. Oh, I did forget he had shield, actually, so maybe I won't kill him. 2 with the poison. And then I take 1 retaliate, but because of the brittle, I actually take 2. And the brittle goes away. Then we do an attack 2 with wound. With the crushing weight, that gets us an XP. And we'll be attacking for 4 plus the poison 5. 4 minus the shield 3. Actually, not very good attacks. And then we take 1 point of retaliate damage. Vile Assault goes away. I will use my Amulet of Life to heal myself here. Using this. So we're going to get an XP for that. And we are going to heal for 3. Shockwave, we're not even going to get any triggers on. That was kind of a waste. Okay, that's done. Next up, we have the Deathwalker. We're going to use Black Barrage top. So we're going to consume Dark here to attack for 3 at range 5 and 1 XP. Plus 1. So that's going to be... So 3, 4 with the poison 5 with shield 4. So that's going to do 4. Would have been better to heal before since Brittle is removed with heal. Oh, yes. Yeah, of course. I guess I would have saved myself a point of damage there. I don't think it's going to matter too much, though. We'll move 3 here. I don't think he can catch me with the AoE. Don't think he can catch me with the AoE. Oh, I should clarify that this we'll mark him as well. Why not? Not that we might be able to get an XP from a summon or something on the last turn. Right, we should have loot this chest. Chest number 44. Where did I put the book? Chest number 44. Come on down. Gain a random item blueprint. Ooh. Are these the ones that I have put aside, guys? They are, right? Yay. Blue back, separate deck. You split it into 51 to 58 and otherwise. Yes, okay. So which side do I draw from? Like, do I draw from the available ones, or like, what do I draw from any particular? From 50, do I draw from 51 to 58 then? The shuffled random item blueprint deck. $51 to $58, okay, are available. Yeah, it was in the setup page. Yeah, that's, unfortunately, my setup page is buried underneath like game boards and sticker sheets in the corner. I was just like looking at it going, do I want to go and get that? Fish that out. We got a biting gauntlet. Number 55. When you are attacked by an adjacent enemy, gain retaliate 2 for the attack. Hey. That's kind of cool. Number 55. So I add the second copy in as well. So I have to get item number 94. So this, in order to craft this, I need to have item number 94 too, right? So that's going to be hard. It's potion. Ooh, okay. I guess we keep digging. What potion? Do we have that potion? No. I guess we just keep going. No spoilers me. I guess we've got more potions to uncover anyway. We've got loads of potions. It's a 2-herb potion. Okay. Well, that narrows it down to like 12. Thank you. How many? More than that, like 20, 15, 20, I don't know what it is. Okay, so this guy is going to go, because I don't think he can get both of us with his move 2, right? Yeah, so he's just going to attack the Drifter. So he's going to attack him for 2. Oh, he's going to have disadvantage as well because of the crude armor. Doesn't matter. Still chose 2 plus 1s. So it's going to be 3. And a brittle. And ice is strong again. What does the number next to the resources mean for the item? That means that you need to have another item in order to craft. So basically it costs an item plus resources to craft it. So a good example of this is like something like the crude spear. So like there may be like a better spear So you would need to have crafted the crude spear to upgrade it into like the better spear. Does that make sense? So what's quite cool is there's like an item kind of progression build sort of system order going on in Frosthaven, where you kind of need to like, you know, build and craft the base items to then kind of get the better items anyway. You can't just always go straight to the best item just with gold, which is like what you would do with Gloomhaven. You just be like, oh yeah, I've got 50 gold, I'll buy the really good item. You're actually going to need to like craft and maybe work your way up, because one of the biggest things that I had against Gloomhaven is the item progression just feels like terrible. Like there's oftentimes you just don't even care. You just use the items that you get at level 1. You know, I'll just use Eagle Eye Goggles, you know, that, and Boots of Striding, thanks. Like I never need to change those 2 items again. Or Iron Helm, I never need to change that item again. So this way you actually will like upgrade them in a more natural way, which is kind of cool. General CGO put together a recipe to number list. You can let me know which. I don't want to know that, to be honest. I'd rather not know. Okay. Let's go Forceful Spirits, top. Maybe Fluid Night bottom. I don't think it really matters here. I'm just going to try and get some loot. I think it would be nice if the Drifter picked up the loot again. Just see if we can get some timber. Some lumber. Yeah, we just want to get this loot, huh? I can attack him a couple of times, and that should hopefully get the loot, but it will be... Yeah, maybe I'll just go for the Fortitude play. Hope we kill him. We should hopefully kill him here. Right, so Deathwalker's going to go. We'll use Forceful Spirits because we want to get an XP. Done quite well with the XP on the Deathwalker this scenario. You know, both characters actually getting 9 and 10. Happy with that. So we'll draw. +0, so it's an attack of 3 with the poison. 4, but he does have shield 1, so 3. He's going to die to his wounds, but unfortunately we don't get the killing blow. Hopefully now, though, the Drifter can. So we'll get the Drifter to just do an attack for 5. 5. It will die. And then we will just use this as a move too and pick up the loot. Come on, lumber. Not lumber. Okay, that's it. Success. Right. Let us read the extracts. 3.3.
Ripping the shard from the corpse's eye, you find the thing to be strangely beautiful. It's slim and hollow, more like a piece of coral than a stone. And yet, there is a certain weight to it that seems uncanny for something only the size of a dagger handle. You bring it closer, admiring its crags and hollows. But as you do, you feel its weight grow. It presses down on your hand and then into your mind, sinking into you and pulling. The coral shard speaks to each of you, not with words, but with desires. It wants to move north, far out to sea, away from the cliffs and the frozen safety of Frosthaven. And it wants you to take it there. This must have been what the lurkers were after. A strange goal for what you thought were beasts, no more sophisticated than wolves or spiders. Yet as the chunk of coral speaks to you, you know it to be true. They sought this object, and in order to understand why, you'll have to follow the pull of the shard north across the water. But Frosthaven's tiny fishing vessels aren't fit for the journey, and you're not about to swim. This leaves you with a choice. You can either keep your feet on dry land, following the shard along the northern coast, or you can build a proper ship and head out into the ice-choked sea.
Ooh, cool. All right. So we got rewards. We got 10 XP each. Gain a Coral Shard campaign sticker. New scenarios, Frozen Fjord, 13, and Jagged Shoals, 14. Nice. Okay. Cool. I like that. I like this story arc. It sounds like, you know, very cool. Right, let's click. I don't want to go to like success scenario because I want to work out all of my rewards manually, seeing as we kind of fudged the difficulty halfway through that scenario. Battle goals. Both of them managed their battle goals, which is nice. Ease battle goals. And we'll find out if they're linked or not. Doesn't look like they're linked, but I know we've got to open the box. Okay. Let's get the sheets out first with the stickers. Let's do the fun sticker bit first. Okay. So we unlocked 13 and 14. Whoa. Not lanes, but one of them requires the boat to go to. Okay, well, which we do not have, so... Looks like we'll be doing an outpost phase. Frozen Fjord. Oh. I see, so we need the boat. Maybe we go make the boat. If monster has 2 targets, do you think it draws against the primary target first or the lowest initiative first? You usually do initiative order? Yes. So for me, I will always do like one of those will be the focus, right? So the primary target is the focus, so it would be that one first. And then just go round with lowest. Then just do it lowest. Then it would be like lowest initiative or lowest standee number, depending on what it was. So let's say it was targeting 2 frozen corpses. It would do the first target first. Then it would do the next one by standee number, if there were multiples and things like that. So yeah, my tiebreaker is primary focus. Then would be standee number if the same monster type. Then initiative value. That makes sense. There is no official rule on that, though, I don't think, in terms of resolving attacks. I think players get to do it however they like, but that's how I've always done it. Because, like, as Kira says, it makes it like easier to keep track of which ones you've done, and it just makes more sense. The only reason why you wouldn't do that, there is a few reasons why you may not do that, and that would be like, let's say for example you were strengthened on like your next attack, so maybe you might consider changing your order a little bit. But like monsters wouldn't do that. Like monsters, you just resolve it however you resolve it. Like that would be player choice, and you just do it how you want. But like if you were the player, for example, if you were a player resolving a target too, you obviously get to decide, and sometimes you might actually have a reason to go one way or the other, because you might want to pull a card or something like that. Pull a specific card. Okay. Right. So these got to go on the board. What I'll do is I'll update the experience on the spreadsheet. So we've got 10. And we got the bonus for completing the scenario, right? Which would be 6. Would be 6. 1. And we earn 10. Deathwalker 9. 6. 23 now. Loot. So 10 loot to the 10 gold to the drifter and 2 gold to the Deathwalker. Gained some extra lumber. We gained some extra metal. Didn't we get a snow thing? Did we get that on the other character? Can we get 1 herb, the entire thing? Alright, so. Am I considering to do the masteries for each character? Yeah, I think so. At some point, I'll probably just like a certain scenario or something. We'll just pick like let's try and do it. I think that they're fairly interesting for each one. Like the Drifter ones are never perform a move ability or attack with a value less than 4 and perform at least one move or attack ability each round. That's kind of hard, but pretty doable once you get going. The problem is that when you get to like a door and you want to open it, I guess you'd have to keep moving for 4 every time. I feel like the Drifter should be an easy one to do. Right, campaign sticker. Huh? How far am I with personal quests? Doing pretty well with my Drifter, not so hot with my Deathwalker, but Deathwalker I have to get 150 experience points just through ability cards. I am less than a quarter. I'm like a sixth of the way through. Whereas I'm about halfway on my Drifter. You perform a move 4, you don't have to move the full 4. No, yeah, I get that. You just have to have a value of 4, right? I'm a bit confused here, guys, because it says gain coral shard campaign sticker. I can't see a coral shard sticker. I can see a shard seeker. I can see something that looks like a coral shard, but it... Which envelope are the dice introduced into the game? That was the one that was, you had to buy the dice expansion. You had to get the dice expansion for that one. Does anyone know? Like... Dwarf, are you there? Aging dwarf. Because it says to gain coral shard. Unless there's another stick set somewhere. No. What's a coral shard campaign? Like, there is no sticker named coral shard. There's these. There's this, but I don't know. Piece of the crown, you think? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Because that would match up with what they've written on the back of these boards. Contains a shard of the lurker crown. I think you're right. It's a piece of the crown. Well, why doesn't it say coral crown shard or something? Again, wording. Do I just go for number 6? I'll go whatever. Screw it. I'm going to put number 1 back. I took number 1 off, but then realized, why would I do that? Let's get number 6 and build it out. From the base. No, now I've taken number 1 off. I'm going to have to do number 1. I'm going to build it right in the middle of my thing. Did I get the removable decals? I don't think... Were there removable stickers? I don't think there were there? I can't remember there being an option for them, was there? I would have if they were an option, but I don't think there was there? Should I continue to watch the stream or the one I've just uploaded to YouTube? Yeah, there's a lot to go through at the moment. Right, well, we can do these stickers, then I think we have to do Outpost. Outpost. How do the removable stickers work with the potion and scenario boards? Well, I think they just don't. I think that's maybe why they're... I mean, I don't think there was removable stickers for this game, because I don't think it's possible. L2. You bought them? Oh. Well, I don't really understand how you... I mean, unless it comes with another component that's different, I don't know. I didn't think that they were a thing. I probably would have bought them. I must have just missed out then. Because it's the kind of thing that I always buy if I see it. Whoa. Like in the ocean. Nice. O2. What is this? This is the map board. Oh, there you go. I'll tell you what, when they do go on right and they match up perfectly, it's very satisfying. Just very fiddly. The only stickers you use on the scenario are the block stickers. Yeah, but the thing with the removable sticker set, right, is the idea for Gloomhaven was that it allowed you to reset the game to some level. How do you reset the alchemy board? You can't. How do you reset like this if you want to open it? You can't. Now, I guess you could use other tools, but unlike Gloomhaven, where you basically were like, instead of ripping a card up, I'll just put it in another bag and we'll reset decks at certain points. Like, there isn't... You know what I mean? Good. All right, that sticker's done. We're at least done for now. We might put some more on the Outpost. Notice that my sticker's hanging off on the crease there. That's not good. Right, Outpost phase. Outpost phase. Right, passage of time. First thing we got to do. This isn't fully filled in. I'm kind of using my digital sheet as my kind of master, but you can kind of get it. Outpost event. All right, Summer Outpost 10. Frosthaven removal stickers for sale on Zatu. Interesting. Well, I mean, I think maybe for the map board and stuff, like, you could preserve elements of the game. For sure. You hate consumable resources, especially in a game like this that might cost quite a bit and you might be running multiple campaigns. Yeah, one thing that I've just sort of decided fairly early on is that I'm okay with it. I'm just going to have to be. I'm like yourself, like generally speaking, I hate, like in legacy games, I generally tend to not rip stuff up. I generally tend to put them to one side and just be like, if I ever wanted to play it again, or if I wanted to resell it or pass it on to a friend or something, you know, like there's another avenue to do it. But with this, I wanted to kind of like do the full Frosthaven experience on stream. And then like my buddy has also got a copy of Frosthaven. Now, whether or not he keeps it, he may end up selling it. But I've always got the option of maybe playing a regular game once a week or something with him. So I'm kind of cool with that. And ultimately, I will probably be buying another copy of Frosthaven to play through again, most likely. And I'm kind of okay with that. Like, but I've had to make my peace with it. But I'm like you. I don't particularly like it. But it is what it is. What's the purpose of buying two? You don't get that? Why would you? Because I haven't used removable stickers. So if I wanted to like stick the stickers on in different places, it wouldn't be up to date with my playthrough. Like the stickers that go on the board, I don't have the removable ones. That's why you might use the removable ones, is that gives you the option to reset the board, which is the main thing. Like you could just, you know, if you already know what combinations of potions make what, you know, unless you forget, you know, you're going to be able to remember that and probably min-max that if you wanted to. So that element is not great, but it's the removable stickers is the main thing, because your board needs to upgrade over time. And obviously if you have everything already on there, you're going to get confused as to what you can and can't do. I mean, you could probably still work it out if you were use another resource or something. Like, it's not a deal breaker, but like for me, I don't mind, you know, I'm paying for the entertainment that I enjoy, so it's not like a big deal for me. Like, this is like the one game it's going to take me a year to play. a year's worth of entertainment for me. You know, and then next year, if I'm like, I feel like playing Frosthaven solo again and with different characters, and if I do, then, you know, it's like, to me, it's more than makes up for its worth for the fun of not having to worry about all of that stuff. But not everybody would be in that situation or would be okay with that. You don't want to buy another copy of Frosthaven just to get a $5 piece of cardboard that they decided to make a one-time use. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm kind of hope that maybe they might do a recharge pack. I doubt it. But you know, like how, like Charterstone, for example, that game offered you a recharge pack where you could basically just get the consumable components in a one-time thing for a quarter of the price. If they were to do a Frosthaven recharge pack for like, I don't know how much it would have to cost. I'd actually have to have a new board. Maybe like 30, 40 bucks or something. I don't know. Okay. What was it? Summer event 10.
Care to make a trade?
A man with skin rough as leather beckons you over to the stool he's set on the main street through town.
I've got the best deals on building materials. Come, have a chat.
You wander over to hear his pitch.
The trick is buying this junk in bulk down in the real cities. Then it's just a matter of hauling it up here. Massive profits for me. Good deals for you. I'll take a few weeks to get here, but you can't beat the cost.
He flips through a notepad, doing the math in his head.
I've got enough room on the next shipment to squeeze in a few more things if you are interested. I'll even cut you a better deal than these other suckers, just so I can head out before it gets dark.
Option A. Place an order for these. Option B. Place an order for these instead. Option C. Take him up on the offer some other time.
I don't think we have enough gold, chat, for this. He wants 15 gold, and the option is 5 wood and 2 metal. 5 metal or 2 wood. So basically we can get either 5 wood and 2 metal or 5 metal and 2 wood. But it's 15 gold, and unfortunately, I don't think we have enough. I think we have... We have 14 gold. So I guess we're going to have to go with option C. It goes back on the bottom of the deck, so... But yeah, we only have 14 gold, unfortunately. Feels bad. I suggest a recharge pack. You know the devs. I don't know the devs of Frosthaven. I know the devs of Gloomhaven Digital. I do not know the devs of Frosthaven. I do not know Cephalofair or like I know. You know, we talk to people, and you know those some of the guys come in and we chat a little bit. You know, and we talk. But most of the guys who come in are like the playtesters, and like I do not have a direct line to Cephalofair and to suggest that idea. And I'm sure that they've probably thought about it. Yeah, refresh kits I think it would be the best option. And it would be, you would want basically a new board. You would want a new campaign tracker, You would want a new alchemy board tracker. And that would probably be about it, to be honest. And obviously a new set of stickers. And that would be it. That would be all you would need that I've seen so far. I don't know if there's anything else. I guess you wouldn't necessarily need the rulebook stickers because you could kind of ignore them. And if you've already played, you would just ignore it. So there are stickers that go in the rulebook. You could probably just ignore them. Okay, so we've done the outpost events, and now we're going to do building operations. So building operations is we go through this deck of cards, and we have the option to use the summer events at the top, or the daylight events, even. So we get to use the daylight events. So first up is mining camp. Now, we've got to have a look and see how much we've got. I think we only have a little bit of... like, we maybe be able to build one more building... Or we could probably upgrade the crafting hut. How much would it cost for us to upgrade the crafting hut? So that's going to cost us 2 wood. Or we could upgrade the alchemists instead. I think the alchemist would be better. Do we not have one more building to build? Oh, well, we need to build the boat, right? Build the boat. So modest, I'm big time in the Gloomhaven space. Well, I mean, I just feel like I'm a regular guy, so I don't think of stuff like that. I really don't. Anything that I get is a blessing in my eyes. I don't take anything for granted. So the boat is going to cost 4 wood. It's quite a lot of wood. I quite like the idea of getting the boat, though. Okay, how much wood do we actually have? Ah, 3. So we would need to buy wood. Maybe we save our money and we build a boat. We got plenty of metal. Yeah, okay. Let's go through this and we're going to buy wood. So mining camp, we are not going to do. Hunting lodge, we are not going to do because I don't think we need it right now. Wood, we are going to do. So we're going to spend a wood for 2 gold. Sorry, 2 gold for a wood. Okay. And the drifters paid for that. Craftsman, yada, yada, yada. Alchemists, yeah. Barracks, we don't do. Workshop, okay. So now we're into downtime so we can craft potions and things. So I think we're going to go and do some potion stuff first. Well, I guess we could build the workshop, but that's in the construction phase. Yes, let's do alchemy. So we have a few things we can do. We can... But it's also considered construction phase. Yes, yeah. Yeah. Counted as an upgrade, yeah. A little bit weird to think of, but I guess it's, yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense. How should we do this? We've got like 2 snow caps or snow thistles. We've got 2 rock roots. We got a vine. We could do vine, rock root. Or we could do rock root, rock root. We could do rock root, rock root. Let's do rock root, rock root. Is there some rule about only 1 construction each turn despite resources available? Yes. Well, yeah, you can do 1. You can do another one, but you're going to lose 2 morale, which you may want to do, but you might not want to do every single time. Okay, so we got unhealthy mixture. Number 98. Unhealthy mixture. During your turn? What? During your turn, perform poison wound self. What the hell? Why would you ever use this? Excuse me? What? During your turn, perform wound poison self. Or is this joke? Joke item. Is this a joke item? L? Yeah, it's basically like we crafted an item that's terrible. I'm sure there must be a character that maybe benefits from this in some way. Well, it is called unhealthy. Okay, I guess. It's supposed to be bad. Yeah, I guess like not every potion that we find is going to be good, huh? Well, at least we know. Maybe a double or everything is going to be something bad. Huh. Okay. Well, now we could do Snow Thistle and find out if that's true. Oh, bro, it is true. No. Oh, it is true. Oh. Keep it for events where you have to give up a pouch item. Yeah, I guess. I guess one character gets a copy of this. Here you go, Drifter. You can chill with that. So I guess I get the other copy. Goes to the... I may as well give that to the Deathwalker now, I guess. You both now have an unhealthy mixture potion. Good job. So I'm guessing this is going to be the case all the way down here. We need to avoid doing doubles of the same. Okay, well, that's alchemy today. At least we learned something. At least we learned something. But buying or crafting. I don't need to buy anything. I don't need to craft anything right now. I want to hold on to a lot of my resources. But we are going to go to construction and we are going to build a boat. So... oh, look, there's a little space to name the boat. So the boat is going to cost 4 wood, 1 metal, and 2 hide. Wood. One metal. And 2 hide. One of them is probably great though. Yeah, game's trolling. There will be one specific one which will be amazing. You just don't know which one it's going to be. I mean, the arrow vine seems to be quite a good material. I don't know, maybe a bit rarer. Maybe it's that one. I will presume that the boat goes here. Looks like there's space to name your boat. Oh, it's annoying that there's like a little bit of like white above the top of the sticker. Oh, yeah, there we go. Read the section link. Yeah, we got to read... Where did I put the card? There it is. We got to read 139.2. Let's see if Fortella's got the audio for it. One 139.2.
The shipyard hums with activity, somewhat literally in the case of the harrower carpenter, who has been hired to construct your boat. As a swarm of unified insects, the harrower has spent the last few days slicing planks of wood, then bending the pieces into shape with the help of other workers. It's a respectable single-mast ship with enough room for a small crew to make a brief voyage north. Until now, a part of you had hoped the carpenter wouldn't pull it off, and that you'd be saved from venturing into these frigid waters. But seeing the ship here, all properly rigged up and sealed with fresh pitch, your mood brightens. Now, all you need is a crew.
Captain Dog Auger at your service.
You turn back toward the gate. The human walking toward you is only the height of a child, but the weathered look on his face makes his age clear.
Satha mentioned you needed an old salt.
The man continues cheerily. He seems confident that he's already been hired.
Delighted to have a ship to Catton once again. Been looking for a new steed ever since me own shipment and unfortunate end a few months back. I'm sure this one won't be torn apart by a giant starfish, eh?
He laughs, but there is sadness there.
No, what do you call this beauty?
The sailor brightens again, offering a bottle of...
We call it Boaty McBoatface.
Go ahead, pick a name. Bad luck to set forth with
Frosty
an update vessel.
McFrostface, yeah.
You smash the bottle on the hull and watch as the carpenter and his assistants launch the ship into the chilly waters. Captain Doghogger takes some time to inspect the rigging and secure a crew, but after only half a day, you're ready to brave the icy sea and leave Frosthaven behind you.
Cool. Cool. Okay, open envelope B. Oh, we got an envelope. Oh, exciting. Oh, it's a chonker. Look at that. Oh shit, I ripped it. I've destroyed that. Look at that rip. Apply rule stick of 4. Okay. Boats. Oh my god, there's boat events. Holy cow. Rule stick of 4. Goes in page 12. Boat events. A boat event is a small thematic interaction in the biting sea. When you use the boat upgrade to travel to a scenario on the sea, signified by the boat icon in the scenario book, draw a boat event instead of a road event. These are resolved in the same manner as road events. There is only one boat event deck. Boat events are not split into summer and winter. Oh man. Like, this is so cool because I remember all the times that we had scenarios in Gloomhaven that were out at sea and we still did road events and it felt weird. It's like awesome that they've come up with a really cool like kind of fix for that. So that's going in page 12. So cool. All right, we got boat events. We need to name... Oh, so you can write the name of the boat on here. Ah, it's okay. I won't write a name on the boat. Should we write a name on the boat? Right, let's write a name on the boat. Okay, let's do a vote. I'll write some of your suggestions on here, and you guys can vote. What's Bitosu? Bitosu. Right, I've only got so many that I can do. Right, poll. There you go. The poll is up. Vote on the boat name. Oh, this is a really cool element to this game. Do I have a pen? I'm gonna need a proper pen here. Maybe a pencil will work. Pencil might be okay. Jesus, the Titanic is out to a monstrous lead. I'm supposed to shuffle these, right? I write the name on them, then I shuffle them. I'm very happy that there's a set of events to do with the boats. That's made me incredibly happy. You need to separate the first. You want to say 10, then shuffle. I remember what it said. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it did say that, right? Yeah, 1 to 13. You're right, 1 to 13. It's like, I wonder what happens to the events that are like the unavailable boat events. Where does that go? Oh, it goes in down. Oh my word, it goes down there? Oh, that's not annoying at all. It can't go next to the other events. Yeah, that's not annoying. Mandatory Titanic it is. Okay. I need ink. Oh no, I started too big. There we go. Well done, everyone. I see. The whole thing goes in the envelope. Oh, I see. That would make sense. Okay. All right, give him a shuffle then. And we're on a boat. Oh, we also gain a prosperity. A very prosperous town now that we have a boat. You know? Think of all of the fishing we can do and all of the other good stuff we can do. Okay. That can kind of go over here, I guess. B for boat. B, boat. Awesome. Well, that was cool. That's really cool. I'm kind of excited to use that now. Right, so we've done the construction phase. We've done that. We need to gain 1 prosperity. Which I think gives us prosperity level 2 now. Because we've got 1. We've got 5 now. We've got max prosperity. Well, I say max prosperity. We've got prosperity level 2 now. We can sing the Lonely Island song, I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Oh no, I'll get copyright struck again. I'll get copyright struck again. The VOD won't go up. Awesome. Well, I think that will close today's session. What I think we'll definitely do for the next session is I think I'm going to try increasing the difficulty up 1 more notch as well. I know that we kind of played it wrong for the first sort of room and a half. Well, really for the majority of that scenario, really. That one we just did. I think next time I'm going to put it up another level on top of solo. So we'll be playing at scenario level 3. You guys have got to remind me to keep me honest. But I feel like now's a good time to give it a go. And maybe we'll use the boat and we'll go off and do a boat event and we'll go and do the next part of that chain. I think it just makes sense. It's going to be quite fun. And we'll see where the boat takes us, I guess. And we'll go from there. But really fun. Like that's really cool. A really nice added thing to do to add the boat in the boat events. That's like super cool. Yeah. Like this game is like they've really taken the elements to the next level, which is what I really wanted them to do. Just wanted them to I've always loved the dungeon gameplay. Dungeon gameplay is great for me. I love it so much. Don't change a thing. Just give us some new characters that are fun to play around with and some new monsters to fight. And all the other stuff needed to improve. And oh man, it's just so cool. Really, really cool. You think the 2 box is also a box to cross off? Oh, okay. So we need to cross that off, then we're on level 2? Prosperity level 2 sounds like max level for a town like Frosthaven. True. I mean, where have they got to really go from? They're kind of already maxed out. They got everything. So we're not quite prosperity level 2 then. We're knocking on the door. We need to get one more prosperity, then we're prosperity level 2. Although it's not like a regular Gloomhaven where suddenly we unlock a bunch of items, but what it does allow us to do is potentially build a few buildings that we couldn't build before. So I think we're not going to be going into winter quite yet. We're about halfway through summer. We're just kind of getting towards halfway through. So in the tail half of summer, we need to concentrate on stockpiling things and building up the walls and stuff for winter. So we're in a good place right now. We can probably build 1 or 2 more little things if we want to, but we will have to, over the next couple of scenarios, start to focus a bit more. And we did have that big resource sort of dump at the beginning of the scenario where we had to play a couple of linked scenarios, and we just kind of were just gathering so much loot. It was crazy. That one felt like a bit of a, in terms of loot, that was definitely on the lower side. And maybe that was because of the type of enemies that we're fighting or the type of scenario it was. But certainly there was not as much loot in that one. So we came away with a lot less resources than we usually do. So we've got to be careful with stuff like that as well.
I think still, yeah.
Oh,
Scout
that's the blessing from Jam.
Yeah.
That's the blessing from.
Isaac, at this point, can we get your approval to add an additional attack modifier deck for allies in the digital version?